things theology, all things theology. We chop it up properly, without an apology. Gotta give doxology to God hollow, because this is how we do it at All Things Theology.
Oh, grace and peace, guys. Welcome to another edition of All Things Theology. I am your host, Kdub, and I just want to thank you for watching this podcast. If you're watching on podcast app, I just want to encourage you to share it out. If you're watching through YouTube, appreciate you. Enjoying all the new subscribers. It's all because of you guys from sharing it. So make sure you like this video, leave a comment, and share it out if you can. So let's get right into the topic. Now, many people know that I do apologetics towards the Hebrew Israelites and things like that. And I just want, as you see from the title, I just want to continue talking about the, the trajectory of Eshon Burgundy. And I remember in my last few videos stating clearly that more would come out, that I don't think Eshon was being completely honest and transparent about some of the things he was saying, because he was saying, well, the only thing that is changed is his view about him being an Israelite. All his doctrine stayed the same. Well, something's come out since then. He did it. He did a little video with him and his wife, and they were talking about a video he just released, and so that's cool, you know. He did a video, and I think some things came out where it showed actually how far he's gone. More of his doctrine's changing, and I believe we will see more of that doctrinal change as time goes. And so many people were harsh on me on the comments. I had friends, man, you're misrepresenting him, and you're just being too harsh, man. He's still believing in a lot of Christian things right now, and, you know, I still consider him a Christian. And, well, it's going to be quite ironic given this video where he states, but I have a little phrase, just because I've been doing apologetics with Hebrew Israelites and various Hebrew Israelites, and I recognize that not all Hebrew Israelites the same, because a common argument that Eshon likes to say is, well, people just want to slap us black Hebrew Israelite like we're all the same. No, I actually studied the movement. I know they're not all the same, and I made those distinctions. So if he ever wants to have a conversation with me, Eshon, I'm willing. Someone who's knowledgeable about the Hebrew Israelite movement, etc., if you're up for it. So, but I have a phrase, because I've been dealing with the Hebrew Israelite for over 6 years, that goes, all roads lead to one West. Me and Vocab joke about this all the time. This is kind of a phrase I have coined behind the scenes. I haven't really stated it publicly, but I've always said it. All roads lead to one West. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean is that all roads lead to one West. One West would be what we would call the originator of the Hebrew Israelite movement, or at the very least, what populated the popular movement of what you may know today as Hebrew Israelites, the guys you see on the streets, things like that, the tactics they use. And my argument at all roads lead to one West is, given time, a lot of Hebrew Israelites start to look like one West Hebrew Israelites. You know, they may be moderate, you know, brother, I believe Christians are still my brothers. I just believe waking up to this identity. Give it time, they'll be calling white man the devil, you know. And so that's why I coined the phrase, given, all roads lead to one West. Once you start embracing the identity of your Hebrew Israelites, over time, you start to look like the one West. You know, your doctrine starts to change and shift. And we're going to see that in this video. You guys probably like, shut up and play the video. Okay, I will. Like I said, this was a video about him and his wife, music video that just released. And so let me stop talking and let's do it.
We saying to you, that's where we at. By the grace of the Most High, we at a place where we're dependent on him. Depending on him more and more.
Somebody said, what is the root of our Christian beliefs? We're not Christians anymore.
Yeah.
We've been pulled out of that faith.
So, boom, right off the back. I'll drop the full link in the video, but this is right around the 28.5-minute mark. Someone asked, hey, what's the root of your Christian beliefs? And they're like, his wife's like, we're not Christians. So we have no root in Christianity. And they're going to actually say a lot worse about Christianity as a whole in a minute. But I don't know if Eshon kind of wanted that to come out right there. But hey, it's out and he runs with it. So yeah, Eshon Burgundy is no longer a Christian, ladies and gentlemen. Let me just play what's said about Christianity.
And my husband has a video about it, right? Didn't you put a video up about your?
In that video, he doesn't say he's not a Christian. Matter of fact, I think he says he still is a Christian, but he embraces Hebrew Israelite identity. I could be wrong about that, but I know that he did not say he was not a Christian. He just says I'm a Hebrew Israelite, and I've seen Christians when they try to embrace kind of both. Like, hey, I'm a Christian. I identify with the faith. Ethnically say I'm a Hebrew Israelite. But this kind of shows you that Hebrew Israelism, because a lot of times when you have a lot of people who are moderate, they're not full one West out there cursing white people out. They'll try to say, this ain't no doctrine statement. This is just identity. Well, you can kind of see how much it does change one's theology, changes one's doctrine.
Hebrew saying I'm Hebrew.
Yeah.
But it didn't tell your story of how you transformed it.
A little bit.
He has a video, and I have a video coming up talking about my experience too. We love Yah. We believe in the Messiah, Yahusha. We just believe that Christianity is pagan and that you cannot really worship Yah in it.
So boom. Not only are we not Christians, if you're in Christianity, if you are a Christian, you can't even worship God rightly, right? It's a pagan movement. Christians are pagan. I mean, the apostles were Christians, so I don't know how they get around that. But, well, I think I do. We're going to see later how I think they get around that. But yeah, let's continue.
And I know that makes some people upset, but if you really study and you really take the time, how about this? Before you get upset at us saying that because you look, I got on the back of my neck it says Jesus. So if anybody was serious, a tattoo was serious about that, it was me. So
So the proof that she was serious about Christianity, check out my Jesus tattoo on the back of my neck. You know how many pagans wear crosses that say Jesus? You know, like that's not proof you were an authentic Christian, that you were serious and studied. That's no proof. That's no more proof that you were serious about Christianity than a Hebrew person in the time of Jesus saying shalom. It was just a greeting. So that's not proof you were serious about the Christian faith. Not even a little bit. I mean, cool, but that's no sign of you being a Christian and that you were serious about it, and therefore you shifting means, oh, we should take this serious now because we know you were serious about your faith because you had a tattoo of Jesus on the back of your neck. And all that goes to her like, well, Jesus ain't his real name. That'll come up in a little bit because that's not his Hebrew name, and that'll come up.
Understand how that can make you feel uncomfortable, but I would just encourage you to just pray sincerely and genuinely and say, Yah, show me Yah, which is Yahuwah for y'all say God. If you haven't come into an understanding, can you show me?
So I'll address 2 points here. Let's say we take her approach. Let's say we study, we pray, and we come out like, no, Christianity is the truth. I see from scripture, yada yada yada. I wonder how they would respond to that, because this is almost like the Mormon-esque approach, because the Mormons do the same thing. If you study, pray genuinely, then you'll find out Mormonism is the truth. You know, you have that burning in the bosom, as they say. I've dealt with other religions, and this is kind of the same little spiel that they give. And so, so now she's on the Hebrew roots movement as far as the name of God, Yahushua, Yahweh. What people have different pronunciations and things like that of God. But it's kind of silly because God reveals himself to people in their own language, in their own tongue. I mean, we see that with the Greeks. And we're gonna get back into that in a second too. So I don't want to get too far in the argumentation for that before they even get it out.
The truth. Can you show me the truth about Christianity? And then look for it and be led by the Ruach. And then you'll see
Ruach spirit.
why we're saying that. But yeah, I know that makes people.
I see why you're saying it. I mean, the Bible does say in the last days, many people will be deceived, things like that. I do believe this is deception. And I know that may anger you, but if you just pray about it and seek the most, you know what I mean? Why can't I use the same argument, right?
Very upset, and it was very scary when I first started to be waking up. It wasn't no couple or no video or no people for me at that time. This was some years ago. It was just the spirit of Yah, and it was nobody to go to. It was nobody to really talk to.
You know how, you know why I believe they're kind of being, I don't know the correct word, but I'll give an experience for me. So when I first became a Christian, when I first became reformed, when I first became anything that I believed, I was explicit in sharing it. Why? Because one, I wasn't ashamed of it. I was excited. I wanted other people to know. I was joyous. I was sharing this out. It was in my music. It was on these videos. You know, but they have been embracing Hebrew Israelism for a few years, as was just stated, and it's been a secret all this time. No one's known publicly. There've been little hints, maybe here and there, but you know, just kind of like what? Why? You know what I mean? Why was that done?
About it, but my husband, and I thank Yah that he was doing that work in both of us at the same time. Like, we stopped going to this church. The last church we went to was like what, 5 years ago?
2016.
Yeah, and so when this was said, I was like, no wonder you guys started drifting. I don't want to say shifting, but drifting. It's my opinion when someone is not in a local church, that's a means for apostasy right there. I mean, more than not, that's usually one of the things that goes. Like if you look at like what apostates, what happens, more times than not, they're not involved in the local church. They have no one to say, "Hey, I don't think you're thinking about that rightly. Here's why." Boom, boom, and help them through these ideas. They were just out there on their own, being, uh, you know, tossed to and fro from every wind of doctrine, and really being their own kind of guide. They're their own elder. They're the determiners of what's right and wrong. Because there's no community living amongst Christians that they were involved in, as this was said from the local church context, which I believe the Bible preaches very clearly. If they would like more evidence of that, I'd be more than willing. But yeah, so they were out of the church for five whole years. So I don't think anyone listening should be surprised that they've drifted away from Christianity. I mean, you were away from it for 5 years, the local church, that is. So, but you were serious about your faith. Yeah, you had Jesus on your tattoo, Jesus tatted on your neck. So you were very serious about Christianity, even though you were apart from the local church, which Christianity teaches you are to be a part of. Hebrews 10:25, things like that. Do not forsake the gathering of the body. You weren't heeding that command.
It was a horrible experience.
Yeah,
and,
yeah, 5.
I believe y'all used that bad experience to wake us up on some things. And we were both like, because sometimes one person in the marriage will come to an understanding and the other person has not. And then you have challenges in your marriage and it's very difficult. But the fact that y'all did it for both of us at the same time is such a blessing. Like, we're so thankful for that. So while we believe what you think you believe in Christianity, right, you're not really living it the right way. So right, we believe Yahusha, the Bible, all that, but we're not Christians.
So there you heard it. If you're a Christian, if you're in Christianity, you are deceived. You're actually the deceived ones. according to what she just said. Um, so there it is, folks. I mean, um, just I don't know how one can come to that conclusion, and there's going to be more said. So I'll let Eshon say some things.
The Messiah that's mentioned in the scriptures. And like I said, you see Christ in the scripture because it's been translated that way to say that. But in Hebrew, his name is Yahusha Hamashiach.
And so he's actually making an argument that the reason why we call him Christ is because the scriptures have been corrupted, so to speak. It's been mistranslated. Well, one, we call him Christ because Christos is the English form of that, which was the New Testament was written in Greek. Now, I think he doesn't believe that. I think he thinks that the New Testament was also written in Hebrew. Because some of the things, well, what he just said there and some of the things he said later. But that's not a mistranslation. Because if he's going to argue that the Hebrew, that New Testament is written in Hebrew, all evidence points to that's absurd. The earliest copies by far were Greek, but by far. Um, and I would love for him to produce some, because there are Hebrew Israelites like of the One West variety who stated the same thing. That we've had copies of New Testament in Hebrew, but they've been either they've been hidden or they're like way later, hundreds of years later, and so this is actually a historical error, and it's misinformation right here. We don't, yeah. So I mean, what do they think the Jews that were going around speaking Hebrew to the Romans? That all these Roman pagans knew Hebrew. The apostles knew Greek, and that's what they wrote in.
Yahusha Hamashiach. So that's who we follow. That's why we don't call ourselves Christians. We follow the Messiah. We follow the way, but we don't.
Even though Peter says, if you suffer, let you suffer as Christians. Um, Paul, when he was talking to, I forget the ruler he was speaking of, Agrippa, was it? I think it was Agrippa. Um, he states that, are you trying to convince me to be Christian? And Paul says, everything I am except these chains, So he desperately was trying to convince them to become Christians. The early disciples were called Christians. We see that word 3 times in the book of in the New Testament. Twice in Acts, and then another time in Peter's writings. And so the apostles definitely took on this term, in a positive manner. Yes, we are follower of Christ. We will be Christians.
Use these terms that we've been given from America, the European church.
And so there he's stating, the reason why we use Christians and Christianity and Christ is because the Europeans corrupted everything, which is absurd because that term was used prior to the Europeans even possessing a Bible. So that's absurd. Like I said, Christian, Christ comes from the Greek term Christos. Christianos, for Christians, but yeah.
We just don't follow
and that's what the guys, Trayvon Bryant, I don't remember. I don't remember the full name, but he was basically saying a lot of people don't understand that Christianity is rooted in the Roman Catholic Church. And I've seen people saying like, that's blasphemous to say that Catholicism is not truly believing Yah. Whoa, like you're very far if you think that. But the roots of Christianity are rooted in the Roman Catholic Church, and when
Negative. So there are similarities, and so if you're saying, well, there's similarities, then that means that is rooted. Well, there's similarities with Roman Catholics and what you believe, or with Muslims. Christianity predates Roman Catholicism, and I know my, Roman Catholic maybe listeners may get mad at this too, but yeah, there is a distinction between Christians and Roman Catholics, I believe. I do not follow the same faith that a Roman Catholic does. I don't have a pope. I don't have another intercessory with like Mary and other doctrines. Um, they believe. No, my I'm just to say that just kind of shows like the historical revisionism they both have kind of bought into, which is a common trait of Hebrew Israelism. Very historical revisionist. Um, so yeah.
You know the real history of the Roman Catholic Church, you would run from Christianity because they imitated its mother. It imitates.
No, we did not. Christians, or if you want to say Protestants, did not imitate Roman Catholicism. The reason there was a split was because Protestants, Christians took issue with the unbiblical things that Roman Catholicism was stating. So just to say this is just lousy history. It's laziness, when it comes to history. And he's up there just facts. I mean, it's not even true. It's not true at all.
You know what I mean? Yah, who's Yahuwah, the Messiah, and we read the Bible. It's just that what you think you're worshiping the true and living Yah in Christianity, but you are not. You're worshiping a pagan god, which is this false image called Jesus.
Boom, there it is again. You know, Christians, you guys are worshiping paganism. Paganism. I mean, not only are they not Christians, they're anti-Christians, anti-Christianity.
Which is not his name, which is not what he looks like, and which is not who Yahuwah has anything to do with.
And so there she goes on, Jesus is not his name. Well, I think every Christian knows Jesus is an English translation of his name. Iesus, which is in the Greek. Like I said, they're anti like Greek, which I mean, sorry, that's what the New Testament is written in primarily. So your issue isn't with Christians, is with the apostles and what they wrote in and what they primarily spoke in the New Testament when they communicated the gospel message. Guess what? To non-Jews. I mean, guess what? Non-Jews didn't know Hebrew. It's not what he looked like. Yeah, I agree. I don't believe Jesus was white. I actually don't think we should be making images of Jesus. How about that? So, and I think largely a lot of Christians feel that way. Matter of fact, because she paints this story like every Christian has a picture of Jesus. I live in the South. I live in Texas, and I've never been in a church which had a picture and painting of Jesus. Now, I've been in Roman Catholics friends and homes that they had that, but a lot of Christians I don't think are take too kindly to those pictures and things like that. Some, yeah, maybe, but not largely, especially Reformed people. When you come to that issue.
And that's hard for many people to hear, but it's the truth. So just ask the Most High to show you the truth.
And he did. That's why I'm a Christian. So man, guys, like I said this before when it first came out, we will see more doctrinal shifts from Eshon. And guess what? I'm gonna say it again. We will see even more doctrinal shift from Eshon. Because he said, hey, my theology hasn't changed. Well, I can guarantee you did not believe Christianity was paganism, a few years ago, before you embraced the Hebrew Israelite identity. So there's another shift in your theology. I mean, let's just be. I think there needs to be some openness and honesty, integrity. Okay, you've shifted. Okay, that's why I was thankful in this interview or this dialogue, this video. It came out. This video came out. And it was open and honest about them not being Christians anymore. They've apostatized from the Christian faith. In other words, they've rejected the Christian faith. Like I said, the historical revisionism is strange. To say Christianity, kind of the mother of Christianity is Roman Catholicism. And like I said, Christianity is in the Bible, so you have to deal with that. Like I said, the way they deal with that as well, they took this. The Europeans took this term, but that's not even factual. Before, like I said, we have copies that predate Europeans. Unless the argument is they destroyed every copy, and which even that, like I said, I don't know how they come to this conclusion because it's factually just not true. It's in error. Yes, it's a lie. And so, guys, pray for Eshon as he shifted. He's rejected the Christian faith. He says, I still believe on the Bible. I still believe in what you guys call Jesus. Just don't call him that. And okay, but even this is concerning. Because the faith that Jesus did establish was Christianity. That the apostles declared was Christianity. They were, followers of Christ. That is the way. And so, yeah, man. Yeah, pray for Eshon. Like I said, this was concerning when I first did the 2 video reviews of him saying he's an Hebrew Israelite, and I think people should have their antennas up and be even more concerned after just watching that. And there was more to critique in that video. I just didn't want to do a super long, lengthy video. But feel free to watch the whole video. I'll put it in the link. I'll put in the description, and so you guys feel free to watch that. There's only a few sections that is about like the religion stuff. The rest is just about the video and kind of artistically all that and stuff. So feel free to watch it if you like to make sure I kept things in context and things like that. And so, hey guys, appreciate you for watching the video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, leave a comment if you have any questions. Until next time, guys, grace and peace.